Good morning, good afternoon or evening whenever you are watching this video. This is me again, this time from Dubai, where we spent 8 years of our life visiting friends, some business meetings and just taking a short break from Bali. What was amazing this morning is I went to the desert while most of my friends went to the office in suits and ties, and I went to the desert riding a motorbike, have a look. It was just brilliant and hard workout. For those of you who like riding bikes, you can try it in the desert or off-road in general, and you will see that's really a workout where we need all our core muscles. But that's not the topic for today. Today I'd like to share with you something else than fitness, a story which came to my mind while I was on the plane coming here. And that's a story about how to make a difference in other people's life and how easy it is to make such a difference in the people's lives who really need it. In my more than long now career working for international companies around the world, I've been to many leadership courses. Some were great, some were not so good, but one really stuck in my mind, and that was in the times when I was working for Unilever in Czech and Slovak republics. I was one of the board members there, and back then my boss and HR decided I'm one of the key people, high potential people, and sent me to this course which was called LEA. 30 people from Unilever companies all around the world would gather together and learn how to lead. So I was really curious about it, but what came was something I didn't expect really. It was not a usual leadership training like we get offered by some of these training agencies. First module was 4 weeks before a course started, online, at home or in the office, where you had to read some books, some articles, you had to put your profile online and start chatting and introducing each other with the other participants. Second module was, in our case, in Massachusetts, near Boston, in the United States, where we got together in a hotel somewhere in countryside and spent time together. Then there was 4 weeks break where we had to do a lot of things while doing our jobs, our regular jobs. And then there was another 2 weeks module back in the US. So you already see this was quite something. But the main thing was content. Self-awareness, working in the teams on projects, but also on the higher up courses, writing poems, all sorts of different things. The main two outcomes were two projects. Two real projects were expected from us to put together. One was business project, so in a smaller team put together something real which then would be presented to the top management of Unilever, and if approved and supported, the team would get $100,000 for realization of the project. Second project was something where we should organize a social impact event in the area where the course was held. But we didn't have any time. The agenda was packed from early morning until late evening, and we were having meetings and lectures and working on all sorts of activities. And for example, for the social project, we only had time in breaks, maybe during the lunch, to just discuss what we're gonna do. So first 2 weeks in US disappeared so fast, and then we were back in our offices again, having to do our jobs, working on the business project for the training, as well as putting together social project on distance somewhere in the country, which normally you don't know anything how to organize such events. So I was really convinced, like, this is not gonna work, something will have to give, and we can't achieve what we were expected to do. Nevertheless, we somehow managed. We raised $74,000 and we organized an event which was supposed to be renting part of the Boston Zoo and bringing terminally ill kids with their parents from around Boston, plus some people from the old people's home and have a one day in the zoo. Despite everything mixed up together and enormous time pressure, we somehow managed to achieve all these things. So we have done our work and we prepared the business project. In our case, at the end we presented a proposal to Unilever board to swap managers among different companies so that they can learn different leadership styles, and we got money for a realization of that. But the main thing was the event in Boston. And why talk about it? We really, 30 people, we really managed that in the breaks and in some spare moments of our time. An event which would normally be organized by a dedicated team a couple of months in advance. We somehow managed that. Kids had great time, going around the zoo, playing. There was a clown and there was a band, and we were walking with all these old folks around the zoo and showing them some animals. Everybody had to take a part. It wasn't just managing that, but really we had to personally take a part. This was one of the conditions of the project. And at the end of the day, we were exhausted but really happy that we managed that. But the best thing still only had to come, and that was when parents of one of the girls, like 7-year-old girl, which was running around and smiling and playing with a kind of backpack on her back, and the parents came to us and they said, listen, thank you very much for organizing this event. Our daughter doesn't really go out often. Her illness doesn't allow her. The backpack she has is monitoring constantly all her life functions. And you know what? For her entire life, this was the first time we saw her smile. And I still kind of have goosebumps when I talk about it. It was just an incredible moment. Or the 70-year-old guy who I was pushing on a wheelchair to show them some antelopes and giraffes. He tells me afterwards, hey, thank you very much. This was the first time in my life I visited zoo. You see, so we made a difference for people who really needed it. And we organized the whole thing in the breaks and in the spare time. Unbelievable. So if we could do it in such a way, then anyone can do this. So I'd encourage you to think about how you can make a difference in the lives of people who really need it. People around you who you know, or people who even you don't know. So this was the story for today. Something else than fitness, but I hope it was useful and inspiring for you. Next time will be about fitness again. My name is Dan Frolets. I'm the author of danfrolek.com blog for fitness and healthy lifestyle, and XFIT, core strength and body flexibility program for successful but busy people. If you like my videos, then give me a like. Put down there a comment below the post, or share with your friends or colleagues whoever you think might benefit. Have a great day.